real good and just give TA first Roshan and utilize that strength of her. Because like this TA pick, it's less about like, oh, it's a really perfect game against this and that. It's more, I think, it gives a nice amount of tempo, and the off lane Timbersaw does not enjoy playing into a safe lane TA. So if that matchup does occur as well, you'd think that Timbersaw would be able to play into a TA due to it being like armor hero versus a range, but no, because of Meld Strike, because of your level 1, and you need your time for your armor to stack up, TA just obliterates you before you even get to like level 3, and you get those armor stacks online.
Alright, so Timber pick's kind of abused in this match a little bit here. We'll see if Force is still able to have an impact. I mean, hero is very, very strong, so we'll still be able to focus on some other heroes, you know, blow up that Tide perhaps, but yeah, as you say, he's a big boy. There's a Monkey King trying to get up to the top side. They've kind of like spread out and made like a barrier to see if they can find this monkey. They know what he's up to. Of course they do. Smoke gets popped, Monkey sees it, and he's like, all right, not happening. Realizing something's up, he's probably been spotted here. He's going to have to try and take the high ground route instead. If you're wondering what he's trying to get to the couriers. He's trying to get to them sweet, delicious, meaty couriers.
Yeah, with the change to the courier HP, he can kill them in one hit. Obviously, was the time it took more, but oh, there he is. Get him, boys. He can level jump it, still jump it. Yeah,
he does.
Yes. So if you don't level tree dance, if you take damage, so if you have it leveled and you take damage, you can't use it. But if you level it while taking damage, you have a split second to use it. So that's why he didn't level up. It's why he did that.
That's a bit silly, isn't it? I don't know.
Alright, he's allowed to make one play in the entire game, alright? As soon as it's leveled, he's now done. Give him one little moment, surely.
Yeah, I guess it's not when you level up, so it's only once in the game. Alrighty, well, Katomi gets to... I mean, that's also some sick knowledge from Katomi there as well, so pretty nicely done.
And he also placed the anti-courier ward as well, throwing it very deep in the base. That won't get dewarded. So Katomi will be able to just hunt every single courier. And the reason why he places it this deep is so that he can see if he goes above the tree line or below.
Yeah, they find him again. But again, he's able to jump himself out, not taking damage on the other side of that disruption. So Katomi gets away. All the mechanics which Katomi is abusing already on this monkey. But it's going to be a traditional monkey. He's not going to be sitting in base farming couriers. No, sir. He's going to be helping out his monkey as a Tide Hunter. I'm trying to not yet. Yeah, right.
Off he goes. No, he's just grabbing the wave. I was scared for a second.
Do you hate the Monkey King courier sniping like as a strategy? Do you think it's just not good?
I think there is something very comedic about the idea of him just parking himself in front of your base and never getting a courier. Like, you don't have to TP a guy back. Like, I think there is a lot of merit behind it, but you need to do it in a way where your offlaner doesn't need you. Like if you pick it with, let's say, some Lesh offlane, sure, it's grief, so much grief. But a Tide, if you block full camp, like sure, why not? And this is the type of game where I could see him. He's blocked the small camp, he's done all the small moves needed to be able to snipe couriers, and off he goes. The fun begins.
No.
Mid lane.
Seen a courier. Courier number 1 has been claimed.
What did he lose?
Down to the bottom side. It was on the return, so he was all right.
Oh yeah, of course he returned. Yeah.
Now Fishman's courier goes down, but that's to Force. So.
You cast the game. I'm looking at couriers. All right, Ursa's courier is showing top.
Whoa, that was cool.
What happened?
I haven't seen that before. So Force timber chain just as he was getting glimpsed. So he did a super long timber chain when he did get glimpsed.
Oh, sure.
Neat. I'm learning so much this game. I've learned so much.
Look at top
2 minutes, I'm just like... Bengen is a courier escort.
He's grabbing all the items.
I like to imagine Bengen in just like a, the black 3-piece suit, like sunglasses, earpiece in, being like, all right, courier escort service.
Oh, God. I mean, DreamLeague is sponsored by DHL. Get this SD DHL skin. This guy needs some new cosmetics. Mid lane though.
Ooh, no one is big block coming out from the Earthshaker. Yeah, might have secured a kill onto no one. Oh, Supreme actually goes down though, but they'll be able to finish him off regardless. He's got the plasma field, and Katomi might regret jumping in on this one, but he's pretty quick. Gets himself to the tree lane. They can't keep the damage upon him, so Katomi will be all right for the time being. Beautiful Fisher block coming out, though.
And we must remember that the shenanigans of Monkey King is going to give Ursa absolute free farm. There is no way a single Tidehunter can fully push out an Ursa from a lane.
Single Tidehunter. Poor guy.
He's near you, Nomad, don't worry.
Single Tidehunter's near me. Excellent. It's only looking for another courier. He's going to find it. Goes into the tower for it, but this hero don't care about towers. Force is just voice lining it every single time as well. He's just very unimpressed by this play, I think.
This is the most like abstract laning phase we have because we've got bot lane just relentlessly skipping waves behind tier 1 tower. We have 2 Radiant Observers deep on the dire side of the map to hunt couriers. A Tidehunter by himself also grabbing waves. Like, no one's playing the normal game of Dota. This is very
dynamic laning phase for sure.
Yeah, it's a nice way of wording it.
Indeed. But yeah, Watson off to a pretty decent start on the TA, obviously. Not completely shutting down the Timber due to all the pulling that's been going on. You know, it's been pretty nice to give Force a chance to stay in the game, not be completely bullied out. But Narman has been rotating a lot, and
so I can't take this seriously. Katomi, I could see the couriers on the minimap, and it's like, mate, you've seen the courier, right? When you can turn around, and he then eventually 180s and gets it. Oh god. And he's still, oh no, he's nicking SD's one. No, no.
No, he thought it was safe.
He thought it was safe.
Oh, Bengen, the courier escort, failing at his job. He's fired now. Give us the sunglasses and earpiece back, sir.
Everyone else is farming. Like, this is the most enjoyment I'm going to get from this laning phase, is just checking out what Katomi's doing. He is still level 1, by the way. So he is sacrificing his entire game just to prevent the couriers from getting out.
And how much impact does it really have? Oh, no one going to get Fisher blocked up for the time being. Supreme is taking some heavy hits from no one. Is it going to matter, though? I don't think so. No one goes down. Monkey King trying to jump in and help out with this one. Bengen seeing the chance for revenge immediately disrupts him up, looking for Fishman. Fishman to fall. Bengen with the double kill. Katomi's got to be careful as well. He's already got 2 stacks of poison on him, and he will back himself away.
And all because he was going for couriers. He's so under-leveled that he didn't have a stun available. He didn't have higher points in spring. In a classical game of Dota, heroes of MOUZ would have died, right? But not this time around.
Pause. Ulnet screams at DM, and DM, he's going to be paused for the minute, but actually he's just going to run himself away from the Ursa. Can't really stand his guard.
All right, yeah, Bengen, please. Okay, just to be clear, Bengen in mid lane. I know there are a lot of couriers around you, but the Monkey King just showed middle. You don't need to collect the goodies, okay? I hope he's just walking back to base.
Just walk home.
Like, if I see that Razor put items on an SD, then Katomi's done his job. He's broken them.
Everyone's paranoid, constantly clicking on their couriers, not looking at their lanes properly.
All right,
that's all good to go. So far, lane's going very well for MOUZ, has to be said. MOUZ,
yeah.
Even though they are losing a couple of couriers here and there, you know, it's not a big deal. They've been able to get the advantage. I mean, the thing is that gold doesn't translate into usable gold because half their couriers are dead and half their items haven't reached them. So whilst they do have a net worth advantage, we're not really seeing that on the heroes themselves. But nevertheless, you know, couriers aren't dead forever. They'll get their gold eventually. And it's kind of an entity to make some use of this and kind of bully the heroes whilst they aren't kind of having all their items on their persons immediately. That's a big ask, though. Especially with a level 1 Monkey King bouncing around, being not so useful in fights.
And this mid lane aggression, with the Monkey King not being able to help out mid and Disruptor going there instead, Watson hasn't really been able to... They are poking Supreme just a little bit.
Trying to dodge out the split earth here, and well, actually, it's not going to come because he doesn't have a level. But Supreme glimpsed back into the Leshrac, and Disruption comes through. Will there be any damage to follow him up with? Fishman trying to click him down, but the bottle is there. Supreme will live. And he gets a cheeky little bottle refill on the side as well. Fishman, next target here. Right click's coming through from the Supreme. He's still got a decent amount of damage stolen and will be able to finish off the Disruptor. Bengen once again just setting up for his Razor. Meanwhile, some more shenanigans. Oh, that's a big courier. That's a really nice looking courier. Oh, it might cost me my life. Oh, he gave up. He didn't go for it, but he is going to live. So, Katomi choosing his life over a courier kill. Not a true Monkey King support player, if you ask me, but respectable all the same.
Entity are just somewhat conceding a lot of early pressure that it could be applying. I expected Timbersaw to be dying at least once in his bot lane. It never really happened. Mid lane as well. Supreme, they are giving it another go.
Yeah, they really want to bring down this Razor, but it hasn't been working well for them. And the Monkey King just kind of runs in and dies. Katomi will fall, but Supreme will die as well. No one's going to get himself the double kill here. So big moves from Aleshrak, finally paying off.
And it felt like that move had to work at some point, right? And it was taking Entity a couple more tries than they really wanted to. Now, Ravage on the top lane.
Up in the top side as they jump deep onto DM, but no one comes in, and now it's a triple kill. Look into Bengen as well. Very well might be. There you go for no one.
Get the Rampage on the courier.
7-minute ultra kill. Rampage on the courier. Yeah.
Rampage!
Rampage! Well played. Oh, hold on. There, no, he's got no mana. There's nothing left in the tank.
Aww.
He's running on empty. Supreme taking the active rune here as well, just to make sure they force the left right back for the time being.
How are they diving the Tidehunter?
Yeah, the Ravage Tidehunter dive is an interesting one.
Normally Ursa kills Tide when Tide's near your tier 1 tower and you chase him down the lane. Chasing underneath tier 1 tower, your ultimate doesn't really last that long. Like 4 seconds, especially when you don't have items to do the damage during that enrage. It's not the best move there from MOUZ after Entity doing quite a self-inflicted poor laning phase. Yeah, that one dive really just gives them some
new they find no one farming, no mana left. The Fisher comes out to help as well. They'll be able to bring him down. The Supreme and no one matchup is very action-packed at the moment. They're going to jump in on Bengen here. Katomi from the sidelines. Now get level 3, so he's going to be able to set up pretty nicely for the TA. The follow-up damage is severe. Watson able to bring them both down. Supreme and Bengen both dropped. Looking at Force as well. He's got the trap down, but with the Timber Chain away, not much you can do about that. Force will get out.
Yeah, a couple moves there from MOUZ now in a row. The dive top, now diving deep into jungle. I just don't think they're really respecting the turnaround potential of the Tide or the Disruptor. You jump the Tide, he can ravage you. You chase in vision of a Disruptor, he's going to glimpse you back. And they're now going into Ursa, no one. He's back to top, but they have the glimpse. It doesn't matter if you have Enrage. You're going to be dragged back. You're going to be dying, and eventually, shortly,
yeah,
in a
he's
second,
making them work for it.
There
you go. Lightning Storm to finish the job. Ursa goes down. Dead Teddy up in the top side. And, well, there's a Leshrac in the lane. You know what that means.
Okay, so yeah, self-inflicted loss to the end of laning phase by MOUZ and Entity, taking the top tier 1 tower. They'll be very happy with this.
Definitely. Yeah, having a good time now. No one, he had a little bit of a messy time in the mid lane where they kind of punish his over-aggression a few times, but they just kind of kept doing it. It kind of started working. They were just like, well, we know Leshrac is strong. We know that if we keep forcing these fights, then the Leshrac should get a damage off, so they were right. Sounds look not worrying as of yet from MOUZ, but we need to see a bit of life coming from MOUZ beyond just us running at people and dying. Glimpse back onto Bengen. In range off the TA and the Leshrac. The overwhelming amount of magical and physical damage coming out from these two. Not many heroes are going to be able to survive it. Disruptor is going to be the harbinger of death this game. If he can get off these glimpses, then heroes are going to start dying. And now he sees Force as well, but I don't think he's got the vision down. No wards in the pocket to place up that high ground, so no glimpse today.
But Entity then, moving around the map, trying to get each other to just overlap their aggression. This was one of the issues with MOUZ's lineup when we're looking at it in the draft. There's, after laning phase, there's a lot of farm required, and they can have their map broken. The jumping Earthshaker.
Harbinger of death strikes again. Down goes Naaman. But they want to respond
They
to this
have
now. They're
Ravage.
bringing in the heroes, and Monkey King's going to be the first target. That's going to be an easy one, but now they need to deal with no one as well as Ravage comes through on the sidelines, but not quite landing onto the targets they want. That said, Supreme struggling to finish off the left track by himself, so will settle for Fishman instead as Force gets a double. Alden still chasing, looking at Watson right now. Watson's got to be careful, but under the cover of the tower, a bit of hesitation coming out from MOUZ. They won't chase that deep, but Force will. He's finished off the kill onto no one all by himself. Triple kill for the Timbersaw, getting it done in this middle fight. MOUZ. Do they want to keep on going for this tower with heroes respawning? Maybe not. They're going to call it quits for now.
Yeah, there's really nice kiting there from MOUZ. So you've disruptions, you've got fissures, you've just got ways to prolong that engagement of Entity. With their own deep dive, utilizing the static storm just for a support kill, it forced them to have to retreat. The Ravage, it wasn't overlapping with the TA right clicks or the Leshrac burst of magic damage. So a wasted opportunity for Entity to try and take a better fight. And of course, MOUZ, they do capitalize on this. They get the Lesh kill, like you mentioned. For Entity, though, every time they sense a moment to go aggressive, they are going to keep going back. They instantly run back to this mid tower.
Oh.
They do take it away. And you can disrupt yourself from Glimpse, yeah.
That one I did know. I keep
Okay. You weren't there. Oh, so I was like, huh?
No, I was kind of just expecting them to go under tower for that one, but turns out they do have breaks. Oh, Glimpse. Hold it. He's good. He can't disrupt himself.
Yeah, item-wise, this Monkey King is looking to go for a first item mules. Sometimes on Monkey King supports, you see like Mage Slayer and like these, like the cheapest form of damage item possible to then give him some purpose. But this time around, he's going for that control. Yules up the Razor to disengage from the static link. Yules up that Ursa during the enrage. Which of course, Yules does not get reduced from it. So I like this pickup from the Monkey King. And T just completed the Desolated.
Insanely value this game. Really,
Wait,
really
they have
good.
2 Yules? Oh, they have 2 Yules. Nice.
Neat. Yeah, Tide Hunter Yules. I mean, we just talked about how good it was. Why not get 2? Why not? Tide is definitely one of those heroes which I feel like sometimes people get a bit like locked in on. They're like, oh, I need to buy Tide items, but you don't have to. The hero is pretty self-sufficient. Narman getting caught out a little bit here and does get melted down by no one.
It's like, nah, man. And then no one. It's like the same name, kind of.
In a way. Katomi gonna get out again. Just messing with MOUZ. That's what he seems to be doing the most. He has put them down quite a bit. 3k gold advantage for Entity at the moment. A lot of that tied up on this Templar Assassin. Do you want to see some moves coming out towards this TA?
I think, first of all, Entity need to be thinking about 15-minute nighttime Roshan. That's one idea. And for MOUZ, moves can occur once you have your items, right? Ursa needs Battle Fury plus Blink. He's 200 gold away from the Blink Dagger. The Razor needs a BKB to be able to step up into the fight, and a Shaker needs Blink Dagger. Like when those things are met, then I expect MOUZ to be somewhat aggressive. And a nice Timber Chain again from the Timbersaw. Yeah, it's really nice.
He's got that timing down, and Glimpse is an easy one to do, you know. It's slightly harder because it's a different time every time, you know. It depends on how far you've walked, so being able to read that, that's pretty impressive. And that's also an ulti wasted from Fishman as well, so yeah. Normally I'd love to see a move coming out from MOUZ, but as you mentioned, you know, it's a little tricky without their item timings.
Oh, they're going before,
Alright, they're going.
But they're so close to Blink Dagger and Shaker. They really are saying that this Razor BKB is going to be enough. Right now, the journey of their smoke, they're going to be bumping into a range creep that will become a Monkey King. And you could argue quite a failed smoke.
Only one smoke broken, but they are leaving the area now on Entity. They read it.
They were expecting the TA to be doing Roshan. But still, to smoke only 2 in the hope that TA is like trying to solo it or something, it's a very ambitious move. They were trying to predict like the greediest play Entity could make, and if it worked, sure, but they're not doing it. They haven't gone there yet.
Yeah, I mean, you move up to that area, and maybe you find a hero on the way, maybe you find a TA. I guess it's like
You find
one way or
Fishman.
another, you know. Yeah, then you just find Fishman, and you're like, okay. Or Katomi, who just leaped away.
Entity are equally very close to some massive items. The Monkey King you see on screen about to have yours, the Leshret that we're showing now about to have Bloodstone. It's TA's about to have Blink. I feel for Entity, it really is going to be turn up the pace shortly, fight for that Roshan, get that first Aegis, take all these outer towers. They're grouping up together now in the top lane. They have wards and sentries on Disruptor.
It is a little bit interesting to Razor though. Oh,
he has the
Supreme,
BKB.
yeah, this is a good target. The BKB Razor coming through, but there's the Yules just to hold him back, and doesn't quite know what to do with himself now. Meanwhile, Katomi does get brought down on the other side of the map. Force finds that kill. He'll be happy about that. The pesky monkey taken down for the time being. Katomi sees Force here. Force going to go in on them, actually. He doesn't care there's 2 calls on his face, but maybe he should. Timber chain away, but the Ravage comes through, cancels it out, and Force, with the Split Earth, will be dropping. Finally punished for playing alone for so much of this game.
He's been pulling a shift though. He was sitting 4-0 before that death. He was the one who was picking off no one at the tail end of previous engagements, and now no one. Speaking about
Farming Katomi as
Bloodstone
well.
is on cooldown.
Olit moving in on this one, and with the Purge coming out onto him, it's doing work, but is it doing it? Oh my god, Nama just got exploded in that fight, and no one's still alive. No one's just going to be able to turn it around. Keeps the damage coming out, and Entity take down 4 heroes now on top of the Timbersaw. That did not go to plan.
The Yule's coming in clutch, right? As you expect no one to get that final hit. Like, he didn't have Bloodstone because he used it on the Timbersaw earlier, and then the Yules from the Tidehunter, then the layered with the stun from the Monkey King, perfectly keeping him alive. And Bengen, he went for a disruption aggressively. You might argue that maybe that would have at least got the kill trade if he didn't get disrupted, but also he could have run away. There was too much noise in the fight to really understand if that disruption meant anything. They'd already squandered their opportunity seconds earlier. Now the aggression doesn't stop. Supreme found in the river.
He's forced to BKB, but he might not surprise. He's not even going to survive through it at all. The combination of the Diabolic Edict plus Leshrak's just overwhelming amount of damage, and Forced, he's so good at that. I've never seen anybody do that so consistently, but Narman is going to get picked off on the sidelines by Watson. Yeah, MOUZ, this isn't looking like anything like their games in the OG series, as Bengen gets picked off deep as well. Entity with a deep vision, and they're abusing it as well.
This is what I was saying during the draft. Like, when you look at MOUZ's lineup, most of them have this somewhat regimental look to them, where it's like, okay, you have your Roshan, you have your tower, you have your team fight, like, but it doesn't have the speed that some have. Like, they always seem to try and tick the boxes on a lot of big factors in Dota, whilst other drafts you lean more into certain kind of concepts that, yes, you have weaknesses, but if you really lean on this one thing, you can break open games. And I think Entity right now, they are looking at MOUZ and relishing the fact that they can freely run around and do as they wish. The itemization, as we've said, is very, very good for Entity. There's double yours now. Monkey King has completed his. Will fully prevent this Ursa from enjoying any of these fights.
Watson just throwing a couple of hits away of Force, forcing him back. Narman, he's just going to get killed off as well. Watson just farming these melee heroes. Bengen also going to get blown up as well. They found Force on the side, glimpse him back, take him out, and 3 heroes on the side of MOUZ. It's effortless as well. Watson's just chilling. I don't even think you need to use his blink there.
Yeah, and also the shard and TA, like, he picks it up early. It really just allows him to further take the fight and to further punish them. I just don't know how MOUZ can engage right now. It kind of feels like they need to dodge just a little bit until Ursa has a blink dagger, and then maybe smoke up Earthshaker with Ursa, go find a pickoff. But until then, respect the fact that Entity are so strong, and they might even be looking to take Tormentors.
Yeah, no one seems bothered this game, at least not in the first 30 seconds of them being alive. How important is it that you take the Tormentors at 20? Like,
it really depends on what heroes you have and the resources you need to take it. Like, if you have a hero that naturally takes Tormentor, then it's very easy to position there and claim it for yourself. But this game right now, Roshan is the bigger picture. They have scanned MOUZ. They do know that they're coming over, so they're repositioning, waiting, grouping back up under their own smoke. They don't actually have a ward here, but they do have the traps.
yeah, Ravage comes out onto a whole bunch of them as DM tries to get the fight started, but they're going straight onto no one right now. BKB Supreme just trying to bring down the Lesh. Bloodstone not going to keep him alive. Doesn't have enough targets to lifesteal off. It's a good start to the fight for the side of MOUZ. Can they keep it going? I mean, they will lose their Earthshaker straight off the bat. Katomi goes in deep, doesn't really find the targets though. MOUZ looking to back themselves off. Supreme going for the TP away. No interrupt for it, so he is going to be able to escape from this. Bengen, Ulnit, all trying to get themselves out. More force as well, constantly struggling here with the always the traps, just silencing him up, giving him issues as Bengen will be found on the sidelines by the Templar Assassin, and Force locked into a mortal duel with DM here. I believe that was an anchor out on him, stopping him from escaping from this one and just locking him down long enough for Watson to come in and finish the job.
It wasn't really the cleanest fight from Entity either, and they're still to win it. Like the Leshes on one side of the fight, Taves on another. Ravage didn't really allow for any follow-up on the Ursa. DM, he jumped the Ursa at the very start of the fight, but meanwhile the Shaker then jumped the back lines, and it prevented that perfect go from Entity that we kind of expected at this stage of the game. But still, Entity do come out ahead, getting 3 kills. Finally going back to Roshan. And going back to your point about Tormentors, it really is like you need to decide, do we want to take Tormentor and then fully leave this side of the map? Because often when you take a Tormentor, your half HP need to reset. So taking your own Tormentor is pretty easy because you can just dip yourself back into your fountain. But an enemy Tormentor, you need to know that you'll be strong enough. And they're looking for the Ursa.
Yeah, looking for Ulnit here. He's forcing out the ultimate very early on indeed. Ursa, he's got nothing to do but sit here and wait for death. Gets the 50 gold for killing the anchor. Definitely not a worthwhile trade for him.
Lane.
Dead for 50 seconds. Yeah, no one looking for the freebie. Gonna get the pick off here. Still dealing with damage inside that disruption. Bengen will fall.
They just keep dying everywhere. They can't protect each other. They can't help each other out. It's so hard in Supreme. He sees everyone dying on the map, and he's going to go and solo Tormentor. Of course, this is possible because he can stack Eye of the Storm up, and he's not allowing him to do it. Oh, that feels so bad. Supreme just spent like 30 seconds just slowly preparing himself to do the Tormentor, and then Entity just comes swooping in. Maybe Timbersaw can get a snipe here. Nope. He tried. Too late though.
Yeah, a little too late, unfortunately. Chakram not going to secure it, so now they get the shard on Katomi. Another issue for MOUZ to deal with. The list is becoming somewhat endless at this point. I mean, both the fights we've seen MOUZ take where they get to kind of decide, they've thrown everything onto Leshrac, and it just hasn't really been working out. I'm not sure if they change that strategy now and maybe look to just throw everything onto the Templar Assassin instead, but I mean, it kind of feels like that part of the game is over, and we're kind of just looking for pickoffs across the map and potentially responding to Entity if they do go too deep against you.
Yeah.
A standard 5-on-5 team fight is starting to feel impossible, and it's only 24 minutes in.
For Entity at least, their fights could be complicated if DM doesn't find that perfect Ravage to enter. Like when Ursa has a BKB, if DM mis-executes on that Ravage, then there isn't that perfect layering of protection for each hero. Suddenly then MOUZ have more confidence. I think it is the big team fight of Tidehunter that is allowing Entity to run wild so far. And it will be on MOUZ to try and to get that spell used quite early on if they are to find a comeback. Ooh, nice tree cut. Blink up in 3 seconds.
Oh, miss. Oh, nice try.
The cape.
Gossamer almost saving him. Almost saving him, but in the end still goes down. But in the middle lane. Yeah, Supreme and DM kind of having a bit of a flirt in the middle lane. It's a little awkward.
Watson's here. That makes sense.
Yeah, Watson's jumping across, able to help out. And Supreme still going to be okay, though. Let's actually blinked away from that one.
Maybe he expected someone else to be there, but sure. A message has been sent.
I got a tower regardless. Who needs kills anyway?
Daedalus on TA. She's already had that for a couple minutes now, but yet to really see it slaughter a hero in the upcoming fight. And what's happening bottom? We see some Timbersaw chase down. The Monkey King is looking. Yule's up to start. Dead in water to contain.
Oh, doesn't come out. Glibs back onto the Timbersaw inside that static storm, and there is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He will fall. Timber dead again. Does manage to drag the enemy team quite far out of the map, so maybe they find Watson here? Watson Sitting under the cover of invisibility. Oh, look at that. How is that scan not landing? Whoa, Watson's going aggressive. Watson's going very aggressive. Looking to just take down the Earth Shaker and is successful in doing so. Moving to the side. They need to bring it down. Watson trying to fight with the rest of the team. Coming on across now. Katomi's in the neighborhood. Watson, surely he falls here. Does around so much damage to Supreme, but will drop. Ravage comes through. Trying to bring down Ursa. Trying to get himself away from this one. He's leashed up by the anchor. Has to turn around and kill him. That's going to cost him his life. Meanwhile, Supreme getting killed up by no one in the front lines as well. He's gone also. MOUZ, they get their quarry, but they're going to lose everybody in response as Ben going to fall. The last hero on MOUZ picked off.
The communication for that to actually work is insane. The fact that Watson's saying, guys, I can kill Shaker, but if you can get to me in like 15 seconds, this is a good fight. They're all barreling through the twin gate. They're getting themselves over to the engagement, and Watson just beautifully by his time holds the high ground, gets the silence on Shaker, blinks to the tree line, forcing MOUZ to just, you know, scurry themselves deeper into the fight where they don't really know what's happening. And what a bold call from Entity, and it pays off. It kind of felt like Watson had the agency the entire time. He didn't. It was on the left track, but
yeah, he's been playing like it, that's for sure. Shaker, he's had such a merit this game. Like, he really did try his hardest to have a big impact in the early game, and to be fair, he did. Now jumping in, Fisher comes out, grabbing no one, separating him from his team, but DM's able to come around the side regardless. They're fighting without Ravage here, so MOUZ, there's a chance they see a chance. As Fishman's going to be the target, does get off the Static Storm, doesn't catch anybody inside of it though. Supreme needs to get away. The disruption's going to come through, but Supreme's so very low, but takes down no one regardless. Beautiful movements from Supreme through this fight as they move on to their final target. That's going to be the Monkey King. Everybody else get themselves out or get themselves in as DM comes in on the sidelines. Still looking to keep this one going. Katomi has gone, but Watson's here on the side, just clicking away at force and actually manages to snipe off Supreme with those side blades. Now looks over. Oh my god, Bengen. He just gets cut in half. Watson looking over towards the next one. On it, he has to go on him right now, but the Hurricane Pike is there from the Templar Assassin, doing so much work. Oh, Olnit. He tried to fight, he tried to see the opportunity, and they're going to keep it on going, but the blink out from Watson. He moves from the side, still under the cover of Refraction. One charge left on the defensive Refraction there to get away from Force. Narrowly escaping the Force of the Timbersaw as just a simple TP out from DM. Everybody's escaping. And Watson, don't do it. Is he? He's hanging around. He's not leaving.
This is clear proof why this guy has been ranked 1 in Europe for so many different instances. Like, this guy is insane. That fight, target selection. He doesn't even have a BKB. He's just playing on Hurricane Pike, Blink Dagger, going for the MOUZ strikes. Gets back on the Timbersaw. Disruption to cancel.
Yep. Force though, not out of the woods yet. They're going to keep the chase going. Narman going to get Yule stuff actually. So yeah, they're just going to change targets onto Narman, and Narman will be dropped.
It's just go, go, go.
Supreme.
I don't even
He's been used up by Katomi here. Katomi pops Wukong's command. Surely this isn't a thing. They're looking for the glimpse, but they're not going to find it. Fishman desperately looking and clicking.
I know we've seen it so many times though, but this Monkey King, or at least in this game we've seen it, he's jumping on Razor. How fluid he is, using the shard of the Bounded Strike to jump in, to then use, to then spring back out, or to use Blink Dagger. It's so much mobility, so much control. And Katomi is setting up so many opportunities for Disruptor to glimpse or Tidehunter to ravage, and Watson not complaining at all by his team's aggression. This TA does not need to go in first. Her team is doing for it her perfectly, and that's the issue with TA games. If TA has to start with a MOUZ strike to start a fight, it's going to often be quite difficult, but there are so many forms of initiation for NT to rely on. And the build from Daring, you've got Blink Yours Halberd, the I hate you Ursa, you're never going to get to have fun in this game build.
Yeah, pretty much. And it feels like everyone's gone for that build this game. Poor Olnit. Doesn't get much of a chance to do a whole lot. The constant Yules is out on Tim, the constant Force staff just controlling him up, beating him up. Yeah, he's got a BKB, but most of the time he's just got to use it defensively. Disruption is there, but anchors upon him. Great game for this, by the way. Is out Force. He's in the front lines and just taking clicks from Watson straight away. Has to back himself out. He is going to survive, but only narrowly at Olnit. Oh my god, he's going for the BKB TP. He went in a little too deep. The team couldn't follow up, and they had to just make the call to get yourself out. So now, waiting for that BKB. Extra 5 seconds cooldown since the last patch as well. I wonder if we'll see that come into effect here.
He's going to need that BKB back up as soon as possible. Of course, he can't really influence that, but he needs to get like a bash or something. And then at that point, if you're a MOUZ, you've got to be communicating to Narman, we need to smoke you up. We have to find a slam to start a fight. We haven't really seen slam at all in this game. And of course, the amount of range and distance that he play on, you're never going to hit a multi-hero slam. Like, sure, you might get like Tide +1, and Monkey King is over aggressive. You need to find a way to find this TA by herself and kill her off. She's going to have BKB, I believe, for this next fight. Maybe they can jump her before her Curry gets to her. It is currently rushing out, and
that's desperate. They
found Monkey King again. It's like, this smoke was giving him the chance of like maybe finding her pre-BKB, but Katomi's positioning, he's pretty much lived on the dire side of the map this entire game, and he's rushing the Wind Waker. I don't know how far away he is. Does he have the Mystic or not?
Don't know where his courier is at, so we'll assume
he does have the Mystic. Oh, he's actually 100 gold away from Wind Waker.
Oh my god,
that is insane.
Dude.
32-minute Wind Waker. He doesn't need any other item. He's been playing on Shard and Blink exceptionally well. MOUZ, this smoke, they have to find a core. They've been so absent from the game.
They just got to slam a core out of existence. They're going to find Fishman instead, and he's going to drop the Static Storm onto himself. I mean, reasonable setup, but they're not going to take advantage of the side of Entity. They want to take fights on their terms. So that's been very clear throughout this game. They just tend to ignore MOUZ when they come in. Look to exterminate themselves as Roshan does get started off by the Ursa. So MOUZ actually in the driving seat for once. Seeing what they can do. I mean, they've got good vision down, they've got good control of the area. But in comes a Leshrac through the portal. The Hex is on out onto the Razor. Roshan has gone though, and the Ursa's going to be able to take that Aegis. But look at Naman and Alden just cowering at the back of the pit. Please let us out. They do actually escape from this one. Naman blink across, TP away. Ursa back safely in the fountain with an Aegis in his claws. So the reset, kind of successful. Just letting your Razor just tank everything. It's a strategy. And it gets them an Aegis, so what can they do with it?
You're 20,000 gold down. You take that as a massive win for MOUZ, and they've instantly smoked up again. They're maybe trying to find a TA who's a little bit greedy. They found the Sam, they found the entry, but they don't have anything else.
I'm not sure they do, but Watson, he might just die regardless. I mean, he's got no BKB, so the clicks are just going to be there, and they're going to kill him. Watson dead, MOUZ. An Aegis, a kill onto Watson. All of a sudden, there's hope for this team. The game is not looking impossible. Not good yet, but they're taking steps in the right direction. No one showing. Still not feeling like he can't even show himself, but definitely not feeling like he wants to approach MOUZ in this moment. 70 seconds without your Templar Assassin.
Yeah, Entity for sure on some kind of autopilot the last couple of minutes, right? Giving up a Roshan when you're that far in the lead. Of course, you tried contesting it, but allowing them even close to the pit is the mistake made there. And then Watson, he's enjoying himself a little bit, walks down mid, but to be fair, Narman just hasn't really slammed anything this game. So maybe they just kind of got comfortable with the idea that Shaker wasn't really utilizing his full toolkit, but there it is. The kill threat is online. It was 900 gold. Oof. Yeah, who got the... It actually went to us as well, so it was 900 gold.
Yeah.
With 1,000 getting split elsewhere. That's Basher. That's Abyssal on the horizon.
And I always feel with Ursa, like, he's not like, you know, some, like a Terrorblade or similar to Naga Siren in ways where you really want to be super far ahead. Like, Ursa can play the game a little bit behind. Like, as long as he can just get on his target and tear them apart, doesn't matter. Obviously you want to be ahead, but he's not a carry which is completely dependent on being, like, equal or ahead. He has ways to play from behind, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if his team lets him, but Hex out onto the Razor straight away, just trying to blow up Supreme. They get Katomi in response, but maybe not the greatest trade here for MOUZ, and I think they're just going to leave Benga behind here and try to run themselves away. Ursa still has 2.5 minutes on that Aegis, so and it wants to make use of it as Bengen slowly but surely gets melted away to dust.
Yeah, it helps with Ursa being a hero that likes to buy items that have single target damage. Like if you're trying to spread your damage and you don't have items, you'll always feel the effect of that. But if you could all focus in on just this item, hurts that one hero, it does give you a little bit of life into late game compared to others.
Yeah. DM. No, forces invis route. I thought he was smoked up. Alright, just getting some information for his team. Has a gem as well, so he knows he's safe, and now he knows he's not safe when he sees that sentry ward right in front of him. The rest of the team is nearby though. This might not be a terrible fight for... it would be. They don't have their team back up yet. Oh, it's so tempting. It's so tempting. They can't resist. They're going to go on the backlines, but the Ravage follows up as well. Naaman is gone. He uses his stuns, but drops. And now Olnit, under the cover of BKB, needs to find a target, but he's just yielded up into the air. He's not getting anything done with his first life here. And when he comes back from the dead, he's not going to have a BKB. He's not going to have an Enrage. I think he's just going to die. Razor trying to come in on the sidelines and do something here, but there's really nothing to do. Trying to help out the Ursa, but Ursa just stunned up, taken on down. Olnit gets killed off. It was too damn tempting for MOUZ. Too delicious. The two-man Fisher on the sidelines. Shaker, he's been unable to get into any fight this game. Goes in for the slam, but completely baits his Ursa into throwing his life away twice. And now back in the driving seat. Entity looking to take this high ground.
They don't really want to have to buy back, but they're going to have to use them. It's the position they're stuck in.
Everything jumping in the sword here. Yeah, they'd be very, very obnoxious just playing up into Entity despite 25k gold behind. They do force Entity back, which, I don't know, you're a little surprised by this?
There is something a little bit spooky about going high ground into Fissure, then Ursa buyback, and then you die again with BKBs on cooldown. So I can respect Entity wanting to take it slow. They gave up the Roshan prior due to their own kind of, I guess, chill state they entered. And Watson's very close to Butterfly. You don't need to end the game right now. You should in theory win the next fight as well with the lead that you have. Get the Butterfly, get the Aegis maybe in 3-4 minutes and just win the game on that. Simplify the process. Arcane Blink is now done for Watson. Even more elusive in the engagement with the reduced cooldown.
Yeah, it's a cool one. Definitely one which people have started to pick up more and more. Extra little bit of distance, a little bit of health.
Bottled amp damage rune.
7-second cooldown, double damage rune. Okay, very nice. Do they force this? Do they control the map and wait for Roshan? What's the call, T-Gov?
Force it. You got the amp damage.
Yeah, battering ramming technique.
Go, 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 go.
No one's into it. He's like, oh yeah, up the high ground we go. You got a double damage? Great news. If you back me up, we can do anything. Tower gained. That does mean... no, it doesn't mean fortifies back up. They already took a tower earlier on. Refresher Tidehunter, by the way. I'm not sure this has been shown yet.
No, it hasn't. It's just been picked up. Double Ravage, double Refresher. Double Yules.
Let's go. Double Dead in the Water. I imagine they both get used onto the Timber Saw anyway, because apparently that's what they're doing to this poor Timber. Oh, by the way, they got a full duration banner down on the bottom side on the side of MOUZ, so, you know, that's been neat, I guess. Katomi looking at the backline. Supreme once again getting hexed up immediately. Doesn't get a chance to get off that BKB. He's just eliminated from the game. Buyback available. Might have to use it. DM going in deep. Looking at Bengen. Bengen going to be forced out of this one. Forced. Meanwhile, sitting around on the sidelines, just kind of waiting for the Static Storm to be over. The buyback not going to result in a whole lot just yet. Entity getting back, but they're ready to go back in on a moment's notice. Ravages available. Supreme, he's dangling himself pretty heavily here. I mean, if he gets hexed up again, it's going to be a tough fight. But they've lost Fishman straight off the bat. No one. He's in pretty deep. Ravage to come through. Supreme does have the BKB to get himself away. On there, has to run away from Watson, though. Watson doing way too much damage. Supreme can't stand his ground against him. BKB now runs out. Hex comes out once again. They'll take down Supreme for a second time. He's not coming back from this one. Naaman trying to control him up at the front lines, but the BKB is there from Watson in time. Force just trying to get him away, but he cannot fight into the BKB. Watson just chasing him down. The silence is there. The damage is in. Mindbreaker doing the work, and Katomi trying to finish it off. Can't do so. Force still alive for the time being, and now the Ursa jumps in. Looking to try and get onto no one, but Entity still backing up their left rack, not leaving him for dead. Now Watson comes in, trying to finish off the Ursa. Enrage has been used. Ult back to the fountain. Watson tries to finish it off with the trap. Can't quite do it, as her Timbersaw's back in the backlines once again, just trying to delay, trying to give them a chance to try and take this game. but it's not happening. MOUZ cannot put it together, still waiting for the opportunity, but it's just not presenting itself. Entity being so careful and backing themselves away. They will wait for Roshan now.
Yeah, Force did so much work in that fight to keep himself alive, to try and drag it out, and
Ooh, I like
to not
this,
even
though.
lose a Rax after that. And with this smoke, Supreme is dead.
No, it's
Last
a
time
Monkey King again.
Oh,
Well, they'll get him. They'll get him,
he
but
has buyback.
yeah, it's not the Watson kill they really wanted. You know, Watson with BKB on cooldown.
Yeah, they did it before and it felt fantastic, but not able to reproduce that play. They're still running very
Look at
quickly.
Bengen. Sup, dudes?
Totem. Okay.
He's not using the Ghost Scepter either. Pretty chattily here as Fishman's just going to get taken down by Aldit. Aldit looking for the next target here, but the TA blinks away. Arcane Blink just disappearing into another dimension as DM comes forwards onto the Ursa. Force backing him up though, continuing to just mess with them right now as no one jumps onto the Earthshake from the sidelines. But again, Entity, the discipline here is crazy. They keep going in and then just backing themselves away. It's okie dokie Dota here.
Yeah, the thought of them giving away some big kills spooks them just a little bit. But you got to say for Entity, for Fishman, he messed up his glimpse. He put himself in a bad position. He dies. He then doesn't want the Monkey King to then buy back. So because of Fishman's slight blunder there, it does give MOUZ a way to retreat from the fight quite nicely. And Roshan, it has now respawned. The trap is in the pit. They are going to see it. And unless MOUZ want to smoke right now, there should be Entities.
They're
Roshan
not getting there in time, are they?
Refresh Shard, Banner, and Aegis in play.
Maybe? I mean, Narman, he's nearby. Oh, no smokes, though. It's super awkward.
Yeah.
They don't have one coming
really
either,
vision
so...
here.
Nah, there's no shot, right? No shot.
I don't think there should be a shot, mate, but you never know.
Aegis now in the hands of no one. Monkey King just doing his best to try to catch someone out.
Supreme?
Yeah, Supreme. I'm locked into an eternal duel with DM permanently this game, and well, now the TA comes in from the sideline and start taking some chunks out of him, forcing the Razor back. No BKB available on Supreme right now, so he's got to be really careful. No one's just going to run him down regardless. The damage coming through. Nice Hurricane out onto the Templar Assassin's going to get her the kill on Supreme, and now they look on towards Bengen as well. Bengen taken out. There's a leash on the Timbersaw constantly. He just cannot get rid of this pesky anchor as Olit's in on the backlines just trying to take down no one all by himself under the cover of BKB. It's not enough. No one's still doing so much work. He's hit the 25. The Edict Explosion talent. It might let him win the duel. It does. DN comes in from the backline to help him out. And no one takes down the Ursa. Dude, that 25 talent on the Leshrac, it completely destroys its Ursa, even through BKB. Bengen going to buy a bit of time with the Ghost Scepter as Force jumping in through as well, trying to help out, but this time, well, Jesus, a Psyblade really messing with him. We do eventually get the kill onto no one, but he's just straight back from the dead, and Force gets finished off here by Watson, and that might be it. Ursa, under the cover of smoke, just pops it on the top wave. Oh, and apparently Narman's back by the Lotus Ball for some reason. He is dead.
Yeah, it all started with he was TPing out and the Monkey King just used him up, so it's become quite a nice little chase between the two of them. MOUZ, no heroes available, only the Ursa who's running it down top, not even mid. Entity looks, it's game one to theirs.
Yeah,
quite the game from them. Some moments of awkwardness, but in reality it was always their game, and Watson, such an incredible TA game from him. Just a true masterclass on this hero, it feels like.
Yep, if you want to learn to play TA, then well, maybe start with a more basic guide. But once you get good at TA, then watch this guy to master it, because some really impressive stuff. Boundless Strike just keeping MOUZ back in the base. They're not GGing out yet, but kind of just delaying things. I mean, they've got a slam to work with. Maybe that's what they were hoping for. One last hope. One last call to say Narman
actually respawned. Okay, hold on.
Oh, buyback on the tipper. Yeah, that much has come off cooldown. All right. Well, it's one of these kind of games, eh? Entity, they want it to be over, though, and Supreme was getting blasted by the Templar Assassin. Once again, the Halberd coming out onto the TA, just slowing down her aggression. They're looking at DM. Do they want to save him? Entity, do you want to go in to help your Tidehunter? Force, once again, just constantly Ghost Sceptering himself up, so Watson just can't take him out of the fights, as Leshrac going in pretty deep in this one. Bloodstone doing the work. They bring down Supreme, they bring down Bignum, and now Force as well, also being taken apart by Katomi and Watson, and this will be it. 3 heroes dead, no buybacks available. Olnek calls it. GG is out for game number 1. MOUZ, time and time again, just constantly trying to fight up.
Oh, what a slam at the end. 1,400 gold going the way of Narman. Padding those stats. Then he types the GG.
Big
Nice
money.
stuff there. Big money.
Yeah. Big money slam to finish off the game. Maybe a couple of mega creeps in there as well. But yeah.